And now we go to Egypt in traveling and money. Remember, I've said I'm helping people to travel. I'm helping people to start traveling because I know what it can do to you. So feel free to approach me. Feel free to come to me for a proper plan on how you can start your traveling as soon as possible with Ken's Money Matters. So like I said, money is not just about, investing and planning your finances only. It's about every single thing in your life. Traveling is part of your life. I always say relationships are part of your life. So all these things that affect your finances, we take care of them when you talk to me. Now, when it comes to traveling specifically, I love traveling. I've traveled for a long time to so many countries. So I have the experience and the knowledge to know what someone would need in a particular country, and also to tell you what you should avoid or what you should go for in any country that I've visited so far. So recently, I just came from Egypt. I went to visit a town called Hurghada that is in Egypt. I didn't go to Cairo. Most people always go to Cairo, but no, I didn't go to Cairo. I went to Hurghada, a beautiful, beautiful place in terms of, it's a coastal town. It's a town along the Red Sea, so you can imagine the kind of nice beaches you have there. The weather, of course, as you know, obviously, is a desert mainly, so it's quite hot. But this time actually it wasn't as hot, so their summer is just beginning around June, so it gets much hotter. But in May, when I went, it was quite okay, I would say. It got quite hot when we went for the desert safaris, but it wasn't as hot any other day. Maybe because I was in the house or because I was, doing indoor stuff, but it wasn't as hot anyway. So, Egypt, why would you visit Egypt? What would actually take you to Egypt? Why would you leave your home to go and experience Egypt? And what would you actually experience there? It's a nice country. It's a nice place to go. It has its bad sides, which I'm going to mention without, trying to filter out anything, but let's look at the good things, and then I can tell you things to be wary of. Not really bad, they may not be bad actually, that's just my opinion, but there are things you might have to be wary of. So number one, the weather is good. It's a desert, of course, so if you're looking for sunny weather, a good place to relax and enjoy some sun, especially if you're from Europe, then you're going to enjoy the sun. It's going to be a beautiful place for you. The beaches are awesome. Yeah, so you're going to enjoy the weather. The second thing is food. Amazing food. They have different types of foods, and they have so many Egyptian cuisines that you could try and taste within the time you're there. So their food is spicy. It's an African country, man. We love spicy food. So in terms of food, I would say it's top. One of the best countries I've gone to that has really good food, and we enjoyed their food, and they serve you quite generously as Africans would, anyways. So it's not food that you're going to be getting those small saucer plates and someone giving you two, what do you call them, two crabs or shrimps and telling you that's dinner. No, they serve you properly. They serve you properly. You pay for it, yes, but they do serve you well, and you get to eat properly salads, and always most of the time it's a buffet, and you get to enjoy different cuisines and enjoy some good music and some happy people. So the food is awesome. For someone who loves tasting food, you will taste hundreds of foods there if you want to. Now that's weather, that's food. Now let's talk about the people. The people are really welcoming. I would say that they're happy people. We are Africans, so we're usually very joyful people. We are welcoming people. We are nice people. The only problem I faced with the people is that sometimes they can be a bit pushy. It could be part of their culture that they're a bit pushy. So, for example, if you not going according to what they want, or according to what they really expect you to do, they might not be so keen on explaining to you so politely. And this is mainly with policemen and experience with policemen in the airport and in different places. They're a bit pushy. So they might sound rude, they might sound arrogant, they might sound weird, but I think again there is the language barrier, which you must also understand. They haven't actually understood or welcomed the idea of having an international language which everyone can understand. Because being a coastal town where everyone goes to, being an international city, everyone lands there. So they need to have a few people who can speak some foreign languages. I'm a big fan of speaking our languages, but because of this globalization thing and the capitalistic world we are living in, we need people to speak English. We need people to interact. As long as you're welcoming tourists to your town to bring money, you should also try to train people to be able to converse and have a proper interaction with these tourists. It's just part of marketing strategy and part of welcoming people and part of making people feel at home. So sometimes with the language barrier it can be a problem. For instance, we went for a yacht experience. So you can take a yacht and you go to the Red Sea for a whole day with everything gathered for food, everything. So you just go there snorkeling, swimming, fishing, um, whatever it is you want to do, you're just chilling, dancing, basking in the sun on top of the yacht. It's an amazing experience. So one problem that I faced is they didn't send any crew who speaks English. So we don't speak Arabic. And that obviously becomes a problem. So sometimes when you are trying to say certain things, and in the sea, you need someone to be there who can ensure safety and security of all the guests in the yacht. So if they don't speak, it can be a bit difficult to ensure that things are running as they should. So that's one problem I faced with them. They don't expose their people to English, and I think that's important. That if you're dealing with international people, then you need to have a few people who can speak English. So in a group of people, you always have to post someone. Like at the airport, for example, most of them don't speak English. So I was late for a flight and I'm trying to explain certain things. I'm trying to rush, and they're just so not bothered. They have that. Yeah, they have that. That's the word. They have that attitude of not bothered by anything. So it's a good thing to be so zen and chilled, but it can be a bit frustrating if you're a friend and you're trying to get things moving. They're really just like, whoa, chill. It's gonna be fine. So yeah, the people are awesome, but when it comes to this language issue and the pushiness, especially when you're dealing with like official people or formal people, it can be a bit frustrating. So at the airports, it may be frustrating, so you need to be careful with that. Another thing is when you're going to Egypt or leaving Egypt, be sure to be at the airport way earlier. I missed my flight. Be sure to be at the airport way earlier. They have like 100 checks, not just the normal security checks we do have in normal airports. In Egypt, you will go through the first check, the second check, the third check, the fourth check, the fifth check before you even get to your gate. And they take time and they are relaxed. And they're also pushing that if you don't remove your shoes, for example, they will be, shouting at you or something like that. So you need to take that into consideration. So even if you have checked in, like myself, I'd actually checked in, so I knew, I go straight to the airport, past the gate, straight in there. It's not like that. You have to fill immigration forms, you have to fill stuff, they have to check you, they have to remove stuff from your carry-on bag and check again one by one. That was a mess. I find the airport process just to be a complete mess. Whatever it is they're searching for, whatever is happening, I don't know, but it's just a complete mess, and it's done to everyone. So if you're going to the airport in Egypt, you have to be ready for anything. The main issue I would say is the language barrier issue. Sometimes it becomes a bit difficult to get any message across, and it can be very frustrating, especially if you want to do something as soon as possible. So that's, I would say, the hard part. Okay, the rest of the stuff were quite nice. We went for desert safaris, well organized with my team. It was an awesome experience. They give you all these bikes or quad bikes, to ride the spiders. You go to the camels, you go and experience how the Bedouins live. Even though that was a bit weird, because then we went there and the only thing we did was get some cup of tea and then go climb a camel for like a few minutes and then off. Initially they sold it like you're going to see how these people live. The Bedouins, I think they call the Bedouins, I believe. Yeah, Bedouins or something. These people are the original Egyptians who ran off the desert during colonization, I believe, when, of course, during invasions. So when they went way into the desert, way in, you can take an hour diving in there. So you find them there, they have their homestays and stuff. So we thought we're going to see how these people live their lives, get to talk to them, get to experience their culture, get to, okay, talking to them can be a bit difficult because, again, English. But anyway, we thought we were going to get into their houses, see things, see some new things that we haven't seen. But we just got there, they brought some tea outside with very tiny cups. And then after that, we went straight to the camels, and after that, off we go back. And the drive was quite a long one to get there. So that one was ish, I would say. Good experience because you still get to see the place, the homes, and whatever. You get to experience the camel ride a bit. Not as expansive. So that's it actually. So there's the desert safaris, then there's the yacht experience if you want to. If you must have the money for it. It's quite expensive. And then of course you now have the beaches there that you can just lie and relax. Of course you have the towns. You can go to town and visit. They have very nice architecture, amazing architecture actually. You can go and see the architecture. On average, it's an affordable country. $1 is an average 20 Egyptian pounds. So averagely, if you want to get a good deal, get to know some locals, or go to where locals go to. And this is a good advice, by the way. Don't go to places that tourists go to. Go to places that locals do go to. That's how you get a good deal. So when we were living, we lived in a very good holiday complex with everything in there. You can buy whatever you want in there, with the beaches, with the hotels and the restaurants and the supermarkets, everything. You can actually live within that place without going outside into Hurghada town. but things will be more expensive. So if you go into Hurghada town, you find things are much more affordable. So, and it's easy to move around. There are so many taxis, so many Ubers, and they're not so dear really. So you can easily move around the town and go and experience things with the local people, not just stay in the holiday complex where you only seeing all tourists. You know, you want to see the local people. But yeah, that's it for Egypt. The food is amazing, people are amazing. Weather is warm, it's affordable in some sense a bit expensive. Shopping, you can do a lot of shopping. The shops are amazing, you can bargain. There are like hundreds of shops and they're open at night. Very nice, I love that, by the way. It was a very nice and busy street, all lights up, and you know they're selling different stuff. If you want to buy souvenirs, you want to buy clothes, you want to buy arafats, you want to buy jalabias, you want to buy whatever shoes, whatever it is, you want to buy dresses for your, you know, for your people, uh, male clothes, everything, jewelry. It's a nice place, and when they're selling, they're really cool. They're really nice because they want to sell. They're good salesmen or saleswomen. Egypt was cool, so feel free to visit Egypt. But like I said, just be wary of certain things. The police are all over the place. So again, you want to be walking around with your passport. You want to have your ID with you. They always roadblocks, and they ask foreigners lots of questions sometimes. So you just need to be aware of such stuff when you're going visiting Egypt. That was my experience. Again, feel free to go and visit. If you want me to help you plan your first travel, remember Ken's Money Matters is available. Go to my website, contact me, and I'll tell you how to have your first international or even local travel. See you guys.